When the shop closed, there was an awful business in the room. My dad was shouting angry at me, and my mum couldn't think of anything good to say. "You know where this boy lives," my dad said. "Tell me now, while I telephone the police. There's only one way of dealing with this sort of thing. If I go up there, I shall only get a mouthful of abuse, as if it isn't bad enough for you to see me losing things out of the shop. You have to bring untrustworthy people upstairs." My mum saw how unhappy I was, and she tried to make things better. "Can't you cancel the postal order?" she asked him. "Of course not. Even if he hasn't had the time to cash it somewhere else by now, how long do you think the post office would let me be sub-postmaster if I did that sort of thing?" I was feeling very bad for all of us, but the thought of the police calling at Lenny's house was making me feel worse. "I'll get it back," I said. "I'll go to his house. It's only along the road from the school, and if I don't get it back, I can get the exact number of where he lives. Then you can telephone the police." I had never spoken to my dad like that before, but I was feeling all shaky inside, and all the world seemed a different place to me that evening. I didn't give anybody a chance to argue with me. I ran straight out of the room and down to the street. My secret hopes of seeing Lenny before I got to his house didn't come to anything. All too quickly I was there, pushing back his broken gate and walking up the cracked path to his front door. There wasn't a door knocker. I flapped the letter box, and I started to think my dad was right. The police would have been better doing this than me. I had never seen his mother before, only heard about her from other kids who lived near. When she opened the door, I could see she was a small lady with a tight mouth and eyes that said, "Who are you?" and "Go away from here," at the same time. She opened the door only a little bit, ready to slam it on me. I had to be quick. "Is Lenny in, please?" I asked her. She said, "What's it to you?" "He's a friend of mine," I told her. "Can I see him, please?" She made a face as if she had something nasty in her mouth. "Lenny!" she shouted. "Come here!" Lenny came slinking down the passage like one of those scared animals in a circus. He kept his eyes on her hands once he'd seen who it was at the door. There weren't any funny remarks coming from him. She jerked her head at me. "How many times have I told you not to bring kids to the house?" she shouted at him. She made it sound as if she was accusing him of a bad crime. Lenny had nothing to say. She was hanging over him like a vulture about to fix its talons into a rabbit. It looked so out of place that it didn't seem real. Then it came to me that it could be play acting, the two of them. He had given her the £5, and she was putting this on to get rid of me quickly. But suddenly she slammed the door so hard in my face, I could see how the glass in it came to be broken. "Well, I don't want kids coming to my door," she shouted at him on the other side. "Breaking the gate, breaking the windows, wearing out the path. How can I keep this place nice when I'm forever dragging to the door?" She hit him then. I know she did. There was no play acting about the bang as a foot hit the door, and Lenny yelling out loud as if a desk lid had come down on his head. But I didn't stop to hear any more. I'd heard enough to turn my stomach sick. Poor Lenny. I'd been worried about my mom and dad seeing him, and look what happened when his mother saw me. She had to be mad, that woman, and Lenny had to live with her. I didn't feel like crying, although my eyes had a hot rawness in them. More than anything, I just wanted to be back home with my own family, and the door shut tight. Seeing my dad's car turn the corner was as if my dearest wish had been granted. He was going slowly, searching for me, when the Lenny's sitting up in front with big eyes. I waved and ran to them. I got in the back, and I drew in my breath to tell them to go straight home. It was worth 50 pounds not to have them knocking at Lenny's house. Never mind 5, but they were too busy trying to speak to me. Have you been to the house? Did you say anything? Yes, I've been to the house, but did you accuse him? No, I didn't have a chance. They both sat back in their seats as if the car would drive itself home. Well, we must be grateful for that. We found the postal order. I could hardly believe my ears were hearing. They had found the postal order. Lenny hadn't taken it after all. It wasn't in its envelope, Nalini was saying. He must have taken it out of that when he was tempted by it. But we can't accuse him of screwing up an envelope and hiding it in his pocket. No, I was saying, urging her to get on with things and tell me. So, where was it? In with the Monopoly money. He couldn't put it back on the television, so he must have kept it in his pile of Monopoly money and put it back in the box. Oh. Mum found it. In all the commotion after you went out, she knocked the box off the chair, and when she picked the bits up, there was the postal order. It's certainly a good job you said nothing about it, my dad said, and a good job I didn't telephone the police. We should have looked very small. All I could think was how small I had just felt, standing at Lenny's slammed door and hearing what his mother had said to him. And what about him getting beaten for having a friend call at his house? My dad tried to be cheerful. Anyway, who won? He asked. Lenny won the Monopoly, I said. In bed that night, I lay awake a long time thinking about it all. Lenny had taken some hard punishment from his mother. Some red-letter day it had turned out to be. He would bear some hard thoughts about Prakash Patel. He didn't come to school for a long time after that, but when he did, my heart sank into my boots. He came straight across the playground, the same flappy sleeves and dragging trouser bottoms, the same long tangled hair, and he came straight for me. What would he do? Hit me? Spit in my face? As he got close, I saw what was on his shirt, pinned there like a medal. It was his birthday badge. It's a good game, that Monopoly, he said out of the corner of his mouth. It was as if he was trying to tell me something. Yes, I said, it's a good game, all right. I hadn't got the guts to tell him that I'd gone straight home that night and thrown it in the dustbin. Dealings with houses didn't appeal to me any